Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Elevated Existence, and a hot topic I think for so many of us out there, and especially those who follow me. I know I've surveyed you, you've asked about different things, and a lot of you want to enhance your intuition. You want to grow in your psychic and intuitive abilities because it's available to all of us. It's a GPS we can use, and so when we tap into it, things become easier, decisions become easier, opportunities, we recognize them when they come in, right? So a lot of people struggle with it. And you may have heard the saying that, your intuition is sort of like going to the gym and kind of working those muscles out. It's the same thing. We have these intuitive muscles that we need to practice. Now, there are some people who remember having these experiences as a child, and these experiences never left them. We think of people who do the type of work like psychic mediums who are just amazingly talented, and we think, wow, they have such a gift. And that's true. But we all have the ability to tap into that to a certain extent. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do it for a living, but it certainly means that you can utilize it for yourself and for your own life and for the other people around you. So what I have found with intuition is that we do all have it, and we do all have that ability to tap into it. And I've spoken to many people who teach about it. I even interviewed James Van Praagh, and I remember him using the analogy of, there's some people that just sit down at a piano and they just play, and they play beautifully, and it's like this inherent gift within them. And then there's other people who sit and work at it, and then they also play beautifully, but maybe it doesn't come as this innate gift. So maybe you're somebody that just sits down at the piano and plays, or maybe you're somebody that really wants to learn how to play and is going to kind of dedicate yourself to doing that. You can approach intuition as this in the same way. So what I want to do here is just give you a couple of quick exercises that you can try to tap into that, or tune into that, really, because you're already tapped in. We're all tapped in, but are we tuned in? Are we on the right station? So a couple of ways that you can do that. Number one is sort of play a guessing game and start kind of guessing the outcomes of different things. So for example, one time I was listening to a TV and somebody was talking in the background, and they were talking about, oh, we had this contest for somebody to name something, and here are the choices of the names that we gave them, and they were about to announce the name. So I heard them talking about this, and I thought, oh, I'm going to just see, let me see if I can tune in. I think this is the answer. So there are different things that you can do in your everyday that you can kind of play around with this psychic muscle. So you can guess, what time you think your significant other is going to walk through the door. You can, if you're on vacation or you're somewhere in an office building and there's a bank of elevators, take a second, tune in and say which elevator is going to come for me today. There are a lot of different games that you can play throughout your day that you can utilize that psychic muscle. If you get it wrong, no big deal. Nobody has to know. But if you get it right, celebrate that, and you'll start to see it happening more and more. It's just a way of consciously toning that muscle of your intuition. And I found myself doing it. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But when I get it right, I'm always like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. So kind of start playing that guessing game with yourself and seeing what you can uncover. And you can do it with anything. What time, if you're in the doctor's office, what time are they going to call you into the doctor? Or, whatever might be coming. What time is the pizza guy going to deliver my pizza? Whatever it is. So that's kind of the guessing game. Another thing that I have started to do more of is, and I usually use my computer, but you can certainly use a journal. But sort of engaging in a conversation with not only my higher self and my intuition and source, but my angels and my guides. So if if I'm at a computer, I literally close my eyes and I'll type. You can also just get a journal and start writing. But let's say you have a particular issue that you're trying to figure out, or you need some advice on something and you're not sure what to do. You can write out or type out the question. So sometimes I'll actually say, I'll sit at the computer and I'll type out, calling in my angels and guides and loved ones on the other side, only those of the highest vibration. I'm having an issue. Can you help me with this problem? Or can you explain to me what I need to know about this particular issue? You can write that out again. Here's my question. and then just start answering it. Just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. So you want to stop and you want to take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to kind of reconnect to your source. And then start answering the question. Don't get caught up in what you're saying. Just start answering the question. Don't even think, just write. Just write or just type and see what comes out of that. You will be surprised at sometimes the answers that you get. Sometimes I'm so taken aback that what comes out of me, I think to myself, like, this is amazing. I've done it for friends who are struggling with something, and I'll just type in some stuff for them, and then I'll call them or I'll email them and say, this is what I got. And they are like shocked. They're like, that is the best advice I've ever gotten, or that is the most beautiful thing. I need to remember that. I'm gonna print this out and put it on my wall. So you have the ability to do this. Again, James Van Praagh once told me an exercise that he often teaches if someone's trying to get in touch with a loved one on the other side is to actually sit down and write them a letter. Spill everything that you need, that you want to say, that you want to explain, that you want to hear from them, ask them questions, and then do that exercise where you allow them to answer, and you just kind of go with whatever comes out of you, and he does it as an actual written exercise. So that's really a way to just let go. Don't worry about the answers that are going to come. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Just take a few deep breaths and go at it and see what comes out of it. And don't second guess it. I'll tell you, one of the first times I ever did this, I completely was in shock by what I got. And it was actually in a communication with my mother. And I thought, this can't be true. Like, people are going to think I've lost my mind. So I actually said out loud to my mother, if this is really you, I don't know how, but can you let me know that this was really you and that I haven't lost my mind? And so a friend of mine who actually happened to be a medium called me maybe about an hour after this happened to me and says to me, oh, your mother's here. Now, granted, we don't all have these crazy circumstances, but she called me up and said, your mother's here, and she sang and started repeating some of the things that I had written down. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, if I can do this, anybody can do this. This is awesome. So try it. Again, whether you're trying to communicate with a loved one or whether you're trying to just open up your own intuition, just get answers for yourself. If you sit in that quiet place, maybe light a candle and sit with a journal or sit with your computer and see what comes out of it. You're engaging that muscle again. You're kind of opening yourself up. So those are a few examples, and they're easy. They don't take a lot of time. The guessing game is always a lot of fun. I've actually have other people in my life that are doing it now. My boyfriend's very open and into this, so he'll do it with me, and it's really a lot of fun. So try it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you get anything cool. I always love to hear from you. And good luck opening up your intuition. Remember, it is already there. You just have to tune into it. And I will see you in the next video.